Welcome back to episode 21 of Where Clarets Walk. Our question this week is, do Burnley need a striker in January? And is McBurney the answer to that? Also, how to beat the Blades, review of Watford, and who's the best and worst side that our Burnley fans have seen this season. First of all, hope you're doing well. Very Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, first of all, for everyone who's been dropping a comment and dropping a like and a subscribe on this channel. It's so hard to grow into something big on YouTube. So we massively appreciate all your help. We've got Jordan and Dan back with us, and Connor is returning as well. Hope you're all well, fellas. Liking the hat, Dan?
Thank you very much. I thought it is the season.
Wrong colour beard, but nearly there. Let's start with the rumours then that Burnley and Blackburn actually are in for McBurney. There we go. Burnley are looking at reportedly bringing Oli McBurnie in on loan and still looking more firepower up front. Serious there, saying we still need a striker in January. Right then, Jordan, your thoughts on this rumour then, please.
When I spoke on the Blades channel earlier on, I stand by that premise. I do not like the guy whatsoever. I think his demeanour's terrible. I don't think he's that good as a striker personally. I just think he's like, if you were to buy him as Ashley Barnes off Wish or something, and that's him. And that's how I see McBurney. His temperament is horrendous. Like I said, we've all already got somebody who can't control his emotions in Hannibal. We certainly don't need a second on the pitch. I think dipping in for Carlton Morris from Luton would be a shout, but definitely not McBurney.
Dan, first off, do you need a striker in January? We've talked about it before.
Yeah, I think it's well documented. I think everyone knows we need someone who up front who's a proven goal scorer. Whether he is at this level, I think because he winds up fans, I think certainly anybody who's not a Sheffield United fan doesn't really rate him, whether that's because of his ability or just because he winds people up, kind of like what Barnes did for us. I do agree. I'm the same as John. I don't like the guy. I think he got sent off last time he played us as well, but I don't think he's the answer. I'll tell you someone I kind of had half an eye on. I mean, he's doing very well in the lower leagues, but I think he's on loan from Villa. He's a guy called Louis Barry. He plays for Stockport. I think he's a
good player. Good player.
Yeah, top striker in League One. He's obviously come from a Premier League team. I don't know whether he'd come on loan or a permanent deal, but certainly got to be one that you've got to keep an eye out for, whether people are or not. But I like him. He's playing very, very well. And he's banged in. I pretend like I didn't research this before we came on, but he's banged in 15 goals this season so far. So that might be worth a look at, but you don't know. I mean, I believe we've signed someone or we've agreed someone in principle today.
Oliver Son from Cyborg.
Yeah. What position is he?
He's a right back.
Yeah, well, he's not the answer then, is it? But but yeah, I don't personally like McBurney. I don't rate him as that good a footballer. He's probably all right at this level, but yeah, I don't think he's for us.
Okay. Connor, let's talk about Watford. If we can, who impressed for you in that particular game?
I think Hannibal. Was the shining light in that team. I thought he carried the ball really well, and I'm so thankful he's finally got that first assist that I think it'll really lift him up now in his season, and it'll take off now, I reckon. Brownhill was all right as well. I thought Cullen pulled the strings in the midfield as well. Overall, I think everyone did fantastic, but Hannibal's my standout.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some tweets that backed that up. Hermes said Hannibal would have balled under Amorim. Luke says easily his best performance in a Burnley shirt. Well done. Just on Brownhill, Jordan, Graham was saying, yeah, sign him on, please. Pete Hayes says new contract. 100% behind that, Jordan?
Well, I remember when we spoke a few weeks back, and I said it's a nailed on. It's got to be. Brownhill, he gets a lot of stick. It's almost cool to hate him, but he really does dig in when it matters, and you can tell he's quite passionate about Burnley. And we look at players in the past who wasn't that good, but they were passionate about the team. Dean Marnie's, controversially David Jones, even though he were ex-Blackman. But yeah, I think that's been lost somewhere in translation. I love his passion for the team. So anyone that is passionate to put on the shirt of the team I support, he's got my full backing. So I think we need to get him at least a year.
Some more for you down here, if that's okay. Jordan Rushworth says, big win that and thoroughly deserved too. Watford are a decent side and were a threat the second half after changing their system. Parker got the team right today. Hooray. And Estev, Egan Riley and Trafford were great again. Just quickly on Parker, did he get the team right against Watford? We should give him his credit.
Yeah, we know we've backed Parker a lot, or Scotty P as we call him. We've given him a lot more grace than maybe others have. I thought that the team came out, and I think for 80 minutes we were by far the better team. We limited them to chances. Parker got it right. The team came out, performed. We starved them of possession in when they had possession. They didn't do an awful lot with it. And then it was only in the last 15 minutes. Now, I said the other week, if you're relying on referees, you've got it wrong. But the ref in the last 10, 15 minutes for me just got them back into the game. And it was almost backs against the wall. But I just think everything looked like it was moving and clicking, which was what we've been waiting for. I mean, our second goal, unbelievable. One touch here
fantastic.
And there. Little layoffs here and there, and then on his wrong foot curls it into the top corner. I mean, I think, he got it right. I agree wholeheartedly with that.
Absolutely. Estev got a quick mention in there. He's not a player we've mentioned times, but hugely effective, Connor, for all the little things that Burnley do well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I think he's the backbone of this team. I reckon. If we didn't have him, God knows where we'd be now, honestly. But lucky to keep a hold of him in January. No, I think he's brilliant, and he's the key to what we do every time.
Okay. Big Boxing Day clash then, looking ahead now to Sheffield United. So they're on this record, Jordan, where if they win and don't concede, they'll set a new record for the number of home games won without conceding. You reckon go and spoil their party?
See, I think we can. Now, I think the way to beat... Well, I described how to beat us, but I also think the way to beat Sheffield is just do the basics right. I do see a lot because they pressure really well. So I think they're waiting for you to mess up and then capitalise. So if we can do the basics correctly, everything else will just kind of fall into position. And if you'd have asked me this question maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, I'd have said, I'll be happy to come away with a point. But with recent form hit, I think we have to walk away with 3. I think we've really got to put our stamp on what we're about now. He's got the team right, like we've just said. Let's go and show him what this team can do.
They've got a highly industrious midfield down in Peck, and Tom Davies actually is playing there at the moment. But of course, the danger man there is Hamer. Who do you use within your squad to stop Hamer running the show on Thursday?
It's got to be. I mean, for all his faults, for me, it's got to be Cullen. He's the man who'll harass him, he'll harangue him, he'll nick the ball off him. If you put it, I mean, the problem is that Cullen's very good at breaking up the play for us and then laying it off for the attack to go up the other end. Kind of like what Jack Cork used to do, and he's kind of developing into that role. I think he does that very, very well. So I think he's probably the man to try and stop him. That being said, I mean, say for a couple of times this season, not many, we score almost every match. And if we play like we did on Saturday, I think they're going to have a tough game, arguably the toughest they've had. And I don't think the record will be broken. That's my prediction. Don't put it on your accumulator, but I don't think it'll be broken.
Well, you went to Ellen Road, Connor, and did a number on them. So can you go to Bramall Lane? I mean, we don't want this being 0-0, but we have to remember that we're seeing the 2 best goalkeepers, I think, in the Championship in this game, aren't we? Certainly the best 2 English goalkeepers coming up to threaten Pickford, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd happily take a 0-0 here. I think this is the only time this season I'd happily take a 0-0. Do what we did against Leeds, honestly. Just get 10 men behind ball and take our chances when we can. Hopefully Luca can conjure up something, but heavily doubt it. But, yeah. No, I'd be happy with a 0-0.
Do I?
All right, cheers for that, Connor. All right, then, final question this week is, who's the best and the worst side, then, that we've seen this season? We've nearly played all of the clubs now, but who's the worst and best? Jordan, who's impressed you the most that you thought nearly out-footballed you?
Well, we haven't played them yet, but I think the best is it's got to be Sheffield. Like you said, the 1 game away from beating a record. And the football at the minute is really fluid, but you can almost say that was always coming from Chris Wilder.
Okay. Who's the worst side you've seen so far, Dan?
For me, Plymouth. I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they got a draw at the weekend, but when they came to us, they were bad. We played poorly and we beat them 1-0. The obvious answer is them down road, but that's a disingenuous answer. They've not been too bad this season, but Plymouth were just terrible.
Okay. Connor, who for you could you have put more past if you'd have been on your game?
For the worst, I'd say either QPR or Plymouth for me. QPR picking up in form, but I think majority of this season they've been horrendous. And Plymouth, we don't need to comment on that, do we? Really, we all know Plymouth. Best, I'd say, lead the Sheffield United.
All right, brilliant. Thank you, you three. It remains to wish, obviously, all of you a really happy Christmas. And thank you for all your time you spent talking about Burnley this season. We're looking forward, of course, to what happens in 2025. Join us next week when we're reviewing 2024 as a year, back with these three and giving out some rewards. So join us for that. We're wishing all of you watching at home, of course, a really Merry Christmas as well. And thank you again for all the support you've given us in growing this to be a really, really fascinating project with Where Clarets Walk. Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great time.
Merry Christmas.